Hey folks, I'd like to share with you today a video on a really cool, the really cool remains of a fleet. When I was a kid, there was, I don't know how many of these vessels there were out here in the Suisun Bay, but there was a lot. And now I'm 48 years old and there's, uh, let me see, one, two, three, four, five, six vessels left. Let's talk about them real quick. This is Class E airspace. It's uncontrolled. And you can't get out here any other way except with a boat. And so I scored some great footage today of these old vessels and looked up some of the purpose, that they were used for by the U.S. Navy. And it's just really cool. These ships are sitting out here being dismantled, lead paint and asbestos and all the other stuff people cry about, so they're being dismantled and scrapped. But I flew the Mavic Pro 2 out here today. And these three ships you're looking at here, the first one, they're the SS Cape Giradeau, the Cape Bover, and Cape Jacob. Now, if you come out here in a boat and you see these vessels, there is a sign on the, outside of them that says keep back 500 feet. So, people have gotten on these boats and I wouldn't recommend trying to do that. I don't think it's a smart thing to do. But at any rate, I'll show you the sign right here. It says keep off 500 feet. So it is like a no trespassing sign. So if you go out here, don't try to go on these boats. If you want to go on a boat, sign up and join the Navy. Anyway, so there's an arrow pointing to the sign, and I'll show you a still image here right there. So you can see that it clearly says keep off 500 feet. Don't go there. Class E airspace. I was flying at about an altitude. It varied from, 90 feet to about 224 feet. At any rate, you can see clearly there's no way out here except by boat. But this boat you're looking at here, this is the Cape Giradeau, built in 1967, and it underwent 3 name changes between 67 and 88. Out of service in 2008. It does have a helicopter pad on it. That's pretty cool, man. Who doesn't want a helicopter pad? 650 feet long. It goes a whopping 23.9 miles an hour, and it was labeled as built as a modular cargo delivery system ship. MCDS, Mike Charlie Delta Sierra. The ship in the middle there would be the Cape Bover. That's Bover with a B, Bravo. And, that one was built in 67. It was built as a break bulk dry cargo ship, 540 feet long. A lot of these ships were built in the 60s. Some were built in the 70s. And some, what's interesting is a lot of them, the ones that are left here anyway, I don't know about the other ones, were built not for the Navy, but built and then the Navy bought them from other carriers, it seems like. So anyway, that was kind of interesting, but look at, I want to talk about the Mavic Pro. I have the Phantom 4 Pro V2 and I have the Mavic Pro 2. For this flight, I wanted the Mavic Pro 2. Because I thought it would do a lot better around the metal and all the metal and the wires and, being out there in the water, and it performed great. I wish I had the 60 FPS like on the Mavic, the Phantom 4 Pro V2, but I can't have everything. Why not? DJI put the Phantom 4 Pro V2 camera on the Mavic Pro 2, and I'll never buy another drone in my life. Anyway, but look at all this. This is an incredible amount of steel. 1961 and 1967, these boats here were built, and they're part of the, I don't know if they're currently part of the Ready Reserve fleet or not. They don't look like they're ready to go anywhere except to the bottom of the water. But who knows? I am no ship expert, but let's fly backwards here, because flying backwards is always cool. I want to point out, though, that flying backwards or flying over these ships in general, there is a lot of high masts and high even antennas on top of the mast that you don't see. So you really have to pay attention and really look what you're doing. And so in order to do that safely, I flew higher than the ships were. I didn't want to get really close and fly down. I'm out there in the water anyway, and I'm not going to see all the little antennas, and I'm not trying to lose a drone on top of a boat that I can't get on. So I flew a little higher than the ships. So just to be safe. But let's take a look at this next ship on the other side. That tugboat looks beat. I'm sorry. But the name of this vessel on the other side there, this is a really cool history on this vessel too. It's the U.S. Naval Ship Triumph, built in '84. And it's 224 feet long, and it is was a surveillance ship. Somebody bought it and never completed the sale somewhere back in the 80s sometime. And anyway, never completed the sale, and so it's sitting out here. But I don't know what all this stuff is. It looks like a patchwork of different colored paints, like some sort of mosaic or something. I don't know if they're peeling paint off, taking that lead paint off, or what they're doing, or why that patchwork looking stuff is there, but it looks cool. Once again, that tugboat, it doesn't look like it's going to tug anything. That thing looks whooped. And yeah, you got some seagulls down there bombing the frame. But what a cool sight this is, man. And you're out there with the thing about the Mavic Pro 2 that I really love is that it's totally portable. I can set it up in no time. I know when it's going to perform better than the Phantom 4. And it just did a really good job here. I didn't have any issues with it at all. And long battery life, 31 minutes. Being out there on the water, I flew and I returned to home with, 40% battery life because I was not going to take a chance. I've never flown from a boat before. The Petersburg. Now, this is a really cool one. The Petersburg was built in '63, and it's what's called a Chesapeake class tanker. It hauled oil. And I'm getting this information from Wikipedia, so if there's anybody out there that, was on these ships or knows about these ships, I'm not a historian. Don't roast me. I'm just getting my information off Wikipedia. But this is an oil tanker, and I don't know what all those round cylinders on there were, what those have to do with oil tankers. I haul gas for a living, and I say oil tankers all the time, and none of them have any of this stuff on them. So I don't know what those round, look like huge jet engines or something. I don't know, but they're really massive, and I don't know what they have to do with oil tanking. But you can see the oil tanker pipelines and stuff there. So I mean, it is a tanker, but I don't know what all those round, drum looking things are. But you can still see all the cool gears and pipes and antennas and radars and just a whole bunch of stuff on there, man. It's just really super cool. Just to be able to come out here and look. And there's another sign there. It says keep off. I don't know what they'd do if you got on there. I know there was a story, and it's been on the internet years ago, about somebody who went out there in a little raft and got on there and found a whole bunch of stuff they weren't supposed to find. I don't know whatever happened to those people. They disappeared. I don't know. But anyway, look at all this stuff. I don't know what any of it is, but it looks cool. Ghost ship. Who knows? Maybe it's haunted. I don't know. But, those three things in the middle there that look like broken greenhouses, I don't know what those are. And all those round cylinders, I have no idea what those things are, man. But the awesome thing about this flight is, especially if you live local, you see these ships in Suisun Bay, and they've been here for years. There was, I'm probably 100 of them at one time. And now there's 5 left. 1, 2, let's see, there's the Cape Giradeau, Cape Bover, Cape Jacob, the Triumph, Cape Fear, Petersburg, and Mountain State. So that's what's left. And it's neat to see all these out here in a way that, like with the drone, because you can't see this from the freeway, the land, and this is just 680 runs by there, by Lake Harmon Road, but you can only see these, from the shore, and it just, you don't get the same vantage point as you do with the drone, obviously. This is really cool. Unless you own a boat, then you can go out and like buzz around these things with your boat, which, fortunately I was able to get some footage that way. But, this is just a super way to be able to explore these old pieces of history, really. These are, pieces of history. And that boat on the left, that's the Cape Fear. And, that was built in, let's see, 71. Man, it's old as me. And in 1985, it was originally named the SS Lash España, then the SS Austral Lighting, and then the Cape Fear. But it's some sort of cargo ship. Who knows what's in those tanks? Zombie juice. COVID vaccine. I don't know. Who knows what's in there? But you can let your mind wander with it and kind of come up with all kind of theories if you want. But I'm sure there's probably some stuff on there that's really cool to be able to see, and we'll never get to see it. But once again, you can see all those round cylinders on that tanker ship, and I just don't know what those have to do with an oil tanker. If anybody's watching this video and they know, man, chime in and hit me in the comments. Let me know. I would love to realize what some of this stuff does on that ship. And you can see on the Cape Fear, that thing is huge, man. God dang it, look at that. You can still see the lifeboats on there. It's just incredible to see how massive these things are. And the Cape Fear, I don't know if I wrote down a length on that one or not. Let's see. Cape Fear. Nope, sure didn't write down a length on that one. But the Petersburg, I didn't write down a length on that one either. But they're long. And they're not very fast, especially right now. They're not moving at all. But, at any rate, look at all the age on here. And, these things, they're sitting out here for all these years, and there's lead paint and stuff dripping off into the bay and other things, that people cry about. And I get it, but, what do you do? They're dismantling them slowly, and, they're going to vanish. This one here is an interesting one. This is the Green Mountain State. It is a Keystone-class crane ship. I don't know what that means, but it sounds significant. And it is. Look at this beast, man. The Green Mountain State, it says on the back there. What would that be, the stern? I don't know. what you would call that. It's the back end of the boat, baby. It's the trunk. You've got some drums on there. Perhaps that's old hydraulic fluids and oils and things like that. Who knows? But, there's crews that go out here and slowly dismantle this stuff day by day, piece by piece, inch by inch, cataloging and bagging and tagging it and shipping it off. This is a really cool, just a vantage point. These cranes were really tall, and I did not want to hit any of them, so I flew much higher than I probably needed to, but it was safe. And I would like to get down there and buzz around all on the deck and everything, but it's just not. I'm just not going to do it. It's just not safe. I'm not going to risk my drone. There were no people visible, so I mean, I could have, but I just can't see every obstacle that's going to be there, and it's not worth it for me. But I did get some great footage regardless. Look at this. There's all kinds of radar on there. It's a TV antenna. It looked like a TV antenna on top of my house. Bunch of pallets of stuff on there. These old cranes. I guess those doors open up and they would lift stuff in, into the and drop them inside those ports down there, or take stuff out and deliver it. Bunch of tires. I guess that's for for the protecting the side of the boat or something. But anyway, this stuff is just really cool, man. I had a really, really good time flying around these boats, learning the names of the ones that were left. I wish I would have known the ones that, I wish they had drones back when I was a kid, and this would have been so exciting to see hundreds of boats out there flying over them all, and just having a good time. But when I was a kid, we had Godzilla. And sparks would fly out of his mouth if you turned the wheel on the back of his neck. And that was epic. Now that I'm 48, we have cameras that fly with 4K. It's totally different. Anyway, man, this, look at that muddy old green water too, man. It's such an exciting time to be in photography and doing drones and still photography. It's an incredible way to explore your world, your city, your town, your state, you know, and see what's going on around you. You know, look at that. How awesome. The sun was coming up. You know, that side of the boat is lit really, really strongly. Man, that's just awesome. So much character and age and rust. There was a hawk too. I don't know if we already passed it in the frame, but it looked like a hawk. Now I don't know how a hawk could just get out there on the boat, because the hawks usually stay on land. But that hawk is I think it was a hawk. It was sort of brown and looked like hawk colors to me. Anyway, he flew through the frame. I think we might have passed it already, but I don't know how he would have got out there. That's probably a good 2 miles from shore. But who knows? Maybe he's, you know, one of those loner hawks. He just wants to keep to himself. Look at all this, though. Those cranes are massive, man. I don't know what they would have lifted, you know, but they were ready to lift probably just about anything with as big as they are. There's another seagull out there flying through the frame. That's another thing about flying these boats or anything out there on the water, old cranes or anything. There's always going to be birds there. And that's another reason I don't fly really close, because I fly with obstacle avoidance off. I don't want, you know, I don't want the drone stopping when it senses something. I want to, you know, I fly with all that off. So the good thing, though, about having it on is if there is a bird, the drone will stop. The bird might not stop, but the drone will. But I fly with that stuff off, and so, you know, I can get a little closer to things if I want. But that being said, you know, there's birds out here, and you have to be careful of when you're flying bridges or boats or, you know, ships like this or cranes or anything out there on the water. You really there's always birds present, and they're not always friendly. Sometimes they will try to, you know, engage the drone, and nobody wins when that happens. DJI refresh care. Anyway, once again, we take a look at the Triumph. Just kind of zoom around it here and get a wide shot of everything. I'm not a boat person. I'm not one to be out there on a boat, but this is the only way you can do it, and it was really quite a fun time, you know. And I'm glad I was able. I think we're gonna come in here, and I think that hawk is over here. We're gonna see. Let's take a look and see. I don't recall, but this thing here, you know, all the windows are sealed up on it. Lots of the holes are welded shut with metal plate and stuff on them. So it's kind of eerie to see these old vessels like this just, you know, inactive and aging. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I really appreciate sharing your time with me watching these videos. I'll link some informational stuff down in the description from Wikipedia and things like that you guys can Google any of the names of these boats and check stuff out for yourself. And, you know, I appreciate all the comments, and if people are more knowledgeable on these boats than I am or Wikipedia, there's the hawk. Look at that thing, man. And he'll fly back again through the frame. Then please leave comments in the you know, comment section of this video, because I would love to learn some more about some of these boats and what they did, and if anybody has been on these boats or even working on these boats, dismantling them. That would be cool to talk to you guys too, man. That would be a pretty neat experience in and of itself. And at any rate, okay, folks, appreciate you checking it out. Check out my website, insightfulimagery.com, or my Instagram, insightful_imagery. And till the next video, take care.